So guys, yesterday Bungie did their developer live stream for Act 1 of Episode 2, also known as Revenant, and today I wanted to just break down that entire section of the live stream where they talk about new stuff coming with Revenant. We have stuff about potion crafting, new weapons, Onslaught changes, artifacts, exotics, all of it. So we'll go into all the details here in this video, but before we do, as always, if you're going to enjoy this video or find it helpful, if you could leave a like and subscribe to the channel, I would very much appreciate it. And with all that being said, let's just jump into today's video. So first thing that they say is obviously Revenant is launching next week on the 8th of October, with the dungeon as well launching on the 11th of October. That's the Friday of next week. Alongside that, the next thing to talk about is tonics and potion crafting. This is the main kind of new system that's coming with episode 2, and with tonics you're going to have two different types of potions that you can actually make. You'll have volatile tonics and enriching tonics. Volatile tonics impact your artifact directly, so you'll be able to get additional benefits on specific artifact perks, and then enriching tonics are basically similar to the attunement system found in the Into the Light version of Onslaught. It's going to be helping you with getting the particular weapons that you are after. Another thing to note is that none of the weapons inside of episode 2, from what they stated, are going to be craftable. So you're going to have to hope to RNG that you'll be able to get some of the rolls that you're after. They have mentioned in the past that they want crafting to be kind of a catch-up mechanic, so maybe some of these weapons will be craftable within Act 2, maybe just adding a delayed cadence there to what weapons are craftable and which weapons are not. And also one other thing to mention about tonics is that the volatile tonics that buff your artifact last for 1 hour, but that could depend on what type of tonic you take, because there are a load of different rarities of tonics ranging from like green and blue tonics to exotic tonics. Maybe the higher quality tonics last longer, but we didn't really get any information on that front. One other thing that we can see from the tonics menu here is potentially what weapons we can be seeing inside of episode 2. So from the logos that you can see on the loot tonics, you can see that there are two different types of actual logos on them. You get just the basic weapon logo, and then there's also a weapon that has a circle going around it. I feel like that circle icon is probably to represent a reprised weapon. So in terms of reprised weapons, there's a special ammo grenade launcher, an auto rifle, and a shotgun, which they do go on to confirm the auto rifle being the Season of Splicer auto rifle that I cannot currently remember the name of. So it seems that Splicer weapons from Season of Splicer, whatever number season that was, will be returning with episode 2. But then in terms of new weapons, you can see that there's probably going to be a brand new pulse rifle, sidearm, hand cannon, special grenade launcher, sniper, heavy nade launcher, SMG, and shotgun. And then also within the gameplay, we're able to see somebody using a brand new Festival of the Lost shotgun, which is a brand new like double fire frame shotgun, double fire slug shotgun to be more precise, which seems very, very cool. Moving on from there though, let's go on to talk about the Onslaught changes. So Onslaught Salvation seems to be the main activity that you're going to be playing inside of Act 1. You're going to be getting 3 brand new maps, which seem to be similar to the Into the Light maps that we got, where they're going to be probably 2 PvP reprised maps and then 1 destination map. In the stream, they showed off a updated version of Widow's Court, so I'm expecting maybe another updated PvP and then 1 destination, but they didn't really go on to confirm what maps there will be. Alongside that, there's just general updates to Onslaught itself, so there's going to be new factions within this Onslaught. You're going to be fighting Scorn and Dark Cabal, and I think even some Dread enemies I saw in that, as well as brand new Revenant Barons, which are similar in style to the Hive Guardians, where they will spawn in a Revenant totem, and if you don't destroy that totem, they'll actually just respawn, similar to how the Hive Ghosts kind of work. So interesting stuff there. One thing to note as well with Onslaught Salvation is that it's not going to be power fixed, so unlike the regular Onslaught mode, power level is going to matter within this mode, so you're not going to just be able to bring in any old weapons into this mode. They're going to need to be leveled up if you want to be successful within Onslaught. In terms of newer updates though for Onslaught itself, you're going to be getting new and updated defenses. So stuff like the trip mines are going to be now stasis themed, so they'll be able to slow and maybe even freeze enemies. You've also got a manually controlled turret that Destiny 1 players might remember from certain campaign missions, and they go on to state that this turret will also be able to scorch at higher levels or higher upgrade tiers, which is very cool. And then there's also an airstrike as well, similar to what you would see in the Lightfall campaign with what Nimbus gave you, and also what he dropped in the final mission of the Final Shape campaign. And then one final thing they mentioned about Onslaught itself is that on wave 30, you'll have a small chance to get a fully masterworked double perked episodic weapon, but on expert you'll have 2 chances of that. So basically, if you're doing the higher difficulty versions of Onslaught, you're going to be getting better loot from that, which is great. Alongside that, within the gameplay that they showed off here, they did go on to mention 3 brand new legendary weapon perks, which I'll briefly break down here. You have Envious Arsenal, which they mentioned reloads your weapon after dealing damage with your other weapons. So that's going to be really good for damage rotations. Alongside that, there's Rhyme Stealer, which they said that shattering a frozen enemy or stasis crystal grants you frost armor. And then they talk about a brand new arc perk that they didn't actually name, but says that sustained damage jolts targets. So that's going to be just a better version really of Vault Shot. So very interested to see what weapons drop with that. Alongside that though, moving on, they talk about the artifact. There's going to be a whole TWID tomorrow dropping, going more in detail on the artifact. They hover over a couple perks here, but just to give you a basis of how this artifact is going to work, it's very stasis focused. So if you don't own Beyond Light, probably going to be missing out on a lot of stuff focused around this season's artifact. And then you've also got some Void and Arc stuff sprinkled in there as well. And then finally, let's talk about just some random stuff as well as the exotics that were mentioned within this live stream. So first off, in the gameplay, you've obviously been seeing the brand new seasonal weapon being used. This is the new primary ammo nade launcher, similar to the Fighting Lion, but this thing is a similar frame to the Mountaintop, where it will be firing in a straight line, and it also has the ability to generate special and heavy ammo after getting a certain amount of charge, so 50% gives you special ammo after special reloading, but if you get 100% charge, you can spawn in heavy ammo bricks, and you gain charge from just getting kills with the weapon, which is going to be very easy to do because it uses primary ammo, so you're going to have an infinite ammo grenade launcher there, which can also just generate other types of ammo. It's very, very cool. There's also going to be a catalyst for this weapon, which will be tied to the season pass as well, so I cannot wait to get my hands on that. Moving on from there, they talk about Icebreaker. A lot of people excited about this weapon returning, and they go on to state that assists and kills with other weapons are going to be the way that it generates ammo. And they also went on to say that it has a 10-round magazine, which is the same size as its reserves, and then also tease about it having some interactions with actual stasis crystals and stasis itself. They say that it'll be able to break ice. So I went on to speculate in a different video what Icebreaker could do, and it seems like I was right on that front, that they're tying in some things with its actual namesake of it being able to do some special stuff with stasis, which I'm very excited about. Alongside that, within this gameplay, we did get a sneak peek at a new Warlock exotic chest piece. They didn't actually preview it or anything, but we were able to see the Warlock wearing it as he quickly went over to his artifact screen, and people were able to speculate that this is actually a stasis turret focused exotic that generates a stasis field around the turret as well as stasis crystals, and it also seems to give you a mini stasis buddy when you stand in the field. So that's just from people's speculation on watching the live stream. You could see him throwing the stasis turret and it getting some additional benefits. That's what people think that exotic does. And then some final little notes here on just some stuff that was teased near the end of the stream in terms of episode 2 stuff, is that there's going to be a brand new earnable skimmer called the Zerf board, which you'll be able to get from Zerf for 97 strange coins. The inverted spire strike is going to be returning with some updates there. And inside of Act 2, a inspired fan favorite mode from Destiny's past is going to be returning. DMG went on to state on Twitter that it's not SRL, which has me sad. So many people believe that it will be the return of Prison of Elders, but then other people have been jokingly saying maybe Archon's Forge. And then the major copium surrounding this is obviously the return of Wrath of the Machine. But if you've seen my previous video, there's probably a very slim chance that actually does return. And yeah, that's basically it for everything inside of the live stream here for Revenant in regards to episode 2 act 1 related stuff. They did also go on to talk about some stuff with Project Frontiers like Armor 4.0, which I did make a video on yesterday, and they also showed off some other concept art stuff. So if you're interested in that, I'll have a link in the description to this live stream if you want to watch it in full. I probably missed out some other little things that you might be interested in, so it's definitely worth going and taking a look. And yeah, that's basically it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, remember to leave a like and subscribe. That's it from me here today. So I'll catch you guys in the next one.